Welcome to another episode of Split Screen. I'm Tony,
And I'm Don.
and we are giving our recap review of The Town or
The Town. Starring Ben Affleck.
Yep,
Affleck.
and then Hawkeye. That's the other
Yeah.
one.
Jeremy
Rimmer?
Rimmer playing a thug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First off, I just can't think of that poor man without that accident that happened to him. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then the bullshit with them offering him less money to come back as Hawkeye.
I saw that
It's
little
so
interview.
freaking rude.
Yeah.
And he even had to say, "Oh, because I'm less of a man because of the shit he went through."
Well, no, I know he said that, but what it is they already replaced him with what's her name, the female version of Hawkeye.
Well, they are moving to the Young Avengers, like as a whole thing. That's the forcing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
her showing up and being around makes sense because I knew the Young Avengers was a thing. That's why we even got.
Not so quickly though. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't even give him a chance to shine.
I mean, Agatha all along is here not because of Agatha, but because they need to introduce Wiccan and go through that whole thing. I mean, that's what it was for because they want to. Anyway, and that's why Ironheart's here.
Are we supposed to talk about The Town?
Yeah, because sorry, Marvel's a lot more interesting than The Town. So if you couldn't quite get into
Is it? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, I'd watch Agatha even though I've over The Town any day, even though it still sucks balls.
Speaking of that, you said something wild to me because we don't typically talk much about the movies because, well, like what we thought of them because we want to kind of like spring that on each other when we have these review shows.
Yes.
But he mentioned that he would rather watch Straw again over this movie.
Absolutely.
And my mouth dropped and I was shocked.
You had no idea what was coming, did you?
I had no clue.
Once you watch this. Would you agree, though? I mean, not that you would watch either of them again.
Thank you.
But if you had a choice, if you were sat in a room being tortured and someone says you have a choice between The Town or Straw, what would you watch?
It would definitely be The Straw because you can argue some of the stuff was laughable or entertaining. There was something to like hold on to.
There was nothing entertaining in The Town.
Yeah, The Town was really boring.
And the thing is, that was the edited version. That was the cut down version. This movie was originally 4.5 hours long.
I can't
for what
fathom
for
doing
what?
that. There better not be the Affleck cut. There better not be.
I just realized. You know why it was? Okay, one of the things I noticed was there was really no connection, and I'm gonna spoil a little bit. He gets in a romance with a woman in this, and there wasn't any kind of build up. He meets her at a laundromat, and then suddenly they're in a semi relationship, and there was really no them getting together time. And I bet you that was probably a half hour that was cut out from that because it seemed. I kept wondering why she was in love with him at all. Because they had just met, basically. At least that's what I thought. Because that would also explain why the time in this seems a little weird. Anyway, so
all right, three things: good, bad.
What can I say that was good about it? I'm going to try and be nice to begin with, but I can't guarantee it. What can I say that was good? It wasn't the 4.5 hour version. That was good.
All right,
that was a positive.
I'll take it. For the record, he found more things to say positive about Straw.
Yes. So I'm gonna go straight to the negative then. Ben Affleck and Jeremy Rimmer, Irish mob guys, and I didn't even know that they were mob guys. I thought they were just thugs, but later on we found out they were part of an Irish mob and on the East Coast somewhere. I'm not buying it. I mean, both of them are so
bad casting.
Yeah, they're so weak as actors for this kind of stuff that I don't believe them. I don't buy it. And Jeremy Rimmer in this is supposed to be like, I want to kill somebody every time they show us. Oh, I'll go kill him. I'll go kill him now. Yeah. Oh, let's go ahead and kill him every time. I'm like, dude, chill out. Why are you wanting to kill everybody?
Yeah, that was
so totally miscast. And Ben Affleck, supposedly, I think he wrote this again from a book, and they took some of it from real stories, evidently. doesn't really matter because it sucked. He also directed it.
Mhm.
What's my third thing that I that I hated about this movie? Oh, this one's a big one for me. We've already seen these East Coast mobster type movies
Mhm.
over and over and over. There's nothing new here.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing that we've seen time and again in other better movies. I mean, to me, these kind of movies stopped back when Scarface came out in the 80s because really you can't top that movie. So they're
Mhm.
just remaking the same movie over and over with different characters, a little bit different situation. I mean, what was the one with Jack Nicholas and um oh, what's his name? That other actor, Titanic guy. It was a big one. It was another East Coast mobster movie,
Mhm.
almost the exact same movie. And I think his Ben Affleck's buddy was in that too. Oh man,
The only one I can think of is
what's
like
his?
Reservoir Dogs.
No, no, that's Tarantino.
Yeah.
And I bring it up, um, but we've seen this so many
Yeah.
times. There was nothing new here. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get
Mhm.
it. I mean, I can't keep watching the same movie over and over. I mean, I can because I watch a lot of movies over and over, but not this kind of movie.
Yeah.
Bored to tears.
Mhm.
Seen it, done it. Okay. So come on, give me your positives. Did it help you to sleep? Oh wait, you won't
No,
say
I didn't
no.
watch
You
see, I
put it on before you go to bed because
yeah.
you'll be asleep within the first 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yep.
That so there was this weird like communal range that almost all the actors had, and it was just like very
My
mediocre,
day.
just like the highs weren't high, the lows weren't low. Ben Affleck is essentially reprising his role as Batman because he's so flat and just like there's just nothing. And even for this guy who's supposed to be in love with this girl and it's high
Why
stakes
was she in
and
love with him? What did he?
I, she was lonely, trauma bonding. She was
I
lonely. She was
guess
upset. This is the first like nice guy who's like super into her.
be
That
like,
that works for people.
yeah, no. Okay.
So
Two.
that was one of them. It could have been shorter. Like it really could like okay, like so maybe I'm spoiled because most of our movies are usually like 90 minutes. But I don't think the extra 30 minutes helped out. And then the fact that you said it was
It's four and
4,
a half hours.
I I can't imagine.
He must have really loved his own stuff for
I
this
can't
movie.
imagine. How inspiring is this book? Maybe I should look at the
Maybe
book
it's
to see.
maybe the 4 hour. They did release an hour. I mean, 155-minute version on the Blu-ray or whatever. But I have no
For
desire to see that.
what?
I can't imagine it improving with more.
I just
And I don't even know what. I mean, what would they cut out of this then? If you were thinking, I mean,
oh gosh. It's kind of hard to figure out what I would cut out
you just want it
because
to
I
be
want to
over
throw it
with.
all out. Well, it's like part of me almost said, well, I feel the romance part didn't lend itself to making it because I feel like that's what they thought the interest was. It's not just the mob and internal family drama. It's, you know, this guy, because this is supposed to be the creme of the creme of like
I know
bank robbing mobsters. There's a
how
lineage, it's
how
passed down like pedigree, all this crap. And then it's like his biggest mistake is he falls in love with a girl who's a part of the
the
heist happening successfully. I feel like he almost like he's because he stalks them and follows them and gets their information. So he kind of like you could tell he fell in love with her even from the very beginning because they're doing the bank heist and he's just so overly nice to this girl. Don't worry, it's okay. Like constantly trying to protect her and get her out of it. And I'm like, why is this dude into her
and just
already?
little short scenes too. I mean, just
Yeah.
didn't make any sense there. So, what was your third point? Was that the third, or was there?
Yeah, no, another negative. Here it comes. Probably the most boring chase sequence in a car I think I've seen in a movie ever. I felt like they
Hmm.
were racing at like 40 miles per hour. Like
I think it was probably longer than that too. It seemed cut.
I can't imagine that
You know
going
what?
on any longer.
I appreciate that the cars weren't CGI though, because so many of the movies today, these car
Havoc.
chases have been all computer generated.
Havoc's car chase was crazy and fake. but crazy.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was bad. And it was nice to see that that wasn't, you know,
Hmm.
in this. But then this is 2010, so less likely to do it. Ben Affleck,
Yeah.
being so in love with, his vision
Hmm.
was like, we got to make this, just like an old style gangster,
Yeah.
mafia movie.
I want to do a
And I
deep.
didn't care because, yeah, the chase scenes were dull.
Most of the movie was just really dull. But I mean, let's get into it, and
Okay. All right.
because I don't know too much more to say to go into, because again, I didn't care that much. It's supposed to be like, oh, the heart not life of being within a family that's constantly within crime, and your ability to escape from it or have it be a part of your life until you die. So, and then it's like, well, we got to get into these these Boston mobsters specifically, because there's something about that region of mobsters that needs to be told in this story. Uh, so I really just
Okay. So what was it about? This might be short. The movie may be 4.5 hours long, but I think we're going to keep this review short. I
we
don't,
might need to.
I don't really have lot of things to say about this one at all. I mean,
I
it's just, it exists and it did well. It made money. I know how. In fact, let me bring up. Oh, I got the budget here somewhere. Um. Oh, you know what? I brought up the wrong movie.
yeah.
This is Town, and director and star Ben Affleck.
Hmm.
Um, wrote the screenplay with Peter Craig and Aaron Stockard. Um, let's see. So the budget was 37 million,
Hmm.
and it made. Let's see. About 150 million. So, I mean, it definitely made its money back. I don't know who went to see it. Maybe I 2010's a little fuzzy. So, was Ben
Did
Affleck a
I think
star
so?
at the
I
time?
think he might have
Because
been.
I don't understand why anyone would go see this.
I agree. So I think that was around the time, because what, 2010? What was his really big movies? He
That was
he
before Batman.
was over Batman.
This
Was
was,
it after Gone Girl? Because
I
he
think,
got
about the
really
same
popular.
time.
Okay, because Gone Girl was a pretty big hit.
Was it?
Yeah, people liked it a lot, and he was in it. So that was like probably one of his big movies around the time. So maybe, yeah, it was just star power.
Hmm.
Maybe nothing else was out too. So well, I'll watch the Ben Affleck flick. Maybe he got some extra popularity from his relationship with J Lo. Some people just
Was
wanted
he
to see.
with J Lo at the time, or what was it? Yeah, this would have been J Lo time, right?
I think it would have
Or
been
was
J
it,
Lo time.
Electra time?
Yeah, good,
It was
good
about the
question.
same time, I think.
Yeah,
This is before one of his mental breakdowns
and
that
to
he
me,
has.
his best movie, Dogma.
Yes, yes. I almost went to see that in the theater the other day. They re-released it.
Nice. I
Yeah,
love Dogma. So
I do
good.
too. I've seen it many times,
Hmm.
and yeah, no, that was his best movie, if you ask me.
Yep, by far. So
Yeah. Although there is the time travel one that I also
maybe that's a problem. He should have had his buddy with him over Jeremy Renner. Would that have been better?
no, because I don't like either of
Oh, okay,
them.
never mind.
Yeah.
All
No,
right,
no, that would make not making this movie would have made it better.
I agree.
Mm. And then, so what is it about? In
All right.
in a few sentences, sum up the movie.
Um, a bunch of bank robbers who have been in this sort of criminal world for a long time start to go start to fail their heist due to Ben Affleck falling in love with a girl. That's kind of really the downfall of everything, and them all getting arrested at the end or
Hmm.
dying. That's really all that happens. There's a message about, well, no, actually Ben Affleck survives. and gets away, which also doesn't make any
He
sense.
he does a Shawshank Redemption at the end.
Yeah,
Come down and join me.
yeah. Which why would Ben Affleck, of all the characters, he was technically one of the worst ones for what he was doing in terms of
Yeah, I didn't
manipulating the
understand
girl.
his role because supposedly he's the mastermind that's able to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, he's the leader.
And they can't do their job without him. And
Yeah,
he wasn't I didn't know he didn't seem to have any special skills. He was just
he was just
there.
a good stalker.
He just seemed to yeah, no, he was like
That's what he
stalking
did.
that poor why did he even fall in love with her? That didn't make any sense. I
I
mean,
think
it's probably
he,
cut out, but that
yeah,
didn't I mean, did she offer something to him? I mean, she was just there. And I'm sure in the 4.5 hour version she's there more, but she really didn't show anything. She liked to volunteer
yeah, the
and
YMCA,
she gardened.
and that was the thing. They were both
Yeah.
YMCA
And that
people.
was it for with her pretty much. And then they had the sexy time one time.
Hmm.
Um
This is directly after I think he
yeah.
almost got in trouble.
So his job was what? The mastermind behind
Yeah,
the heist. I
he's the
mean,
mastermind. He
and he
was the
wasn't
one.
wasn't good at it.
No, and of all the things you were going to be the mastermind, you're not going to make a rookie mistake of
he
something like that either.
yeah,
Which is
he was
why,
I remember he was able to find information on on the people that they were going to be robbing from because at the bank
yeah, that was
he
his
had
thing.
studied her.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. See,
he was a
that's such a
stalker.
light spot. And then in another heist, he had studied the cops that were part of it, and one of them was
Hmm.
ex-military. So like that'll go bad if we don't, if we
Hmm.
do it.
And then
Uh,
in the final heist at the stadium, he
what was
studied the two cash guys.
Jeremy Rimmer's skill?
He was
I
aggressive and the bully.
okay. Here's what's funny. I remember the FBI because the FBI comes in. It's a long, stupid movie.
Hmm.
The FBI comes in and they have the profile for each of them because somehow they connected them with the bank robbery.
Yeah.
And I didn't see how that leap happened because they weren't talking about it. They weren't going out and partying, even though the FBI said the
Oh,
pattern would be go out to party
I
and
remember
brag
why it
about it.
happened.
But the FBI also did a profile for each one saying what their special skill was. And I don't remember a single bit of that.
Yep. Well, because a lot of them either had family or like ties, but then the bank robbing, or more so, I guess, armored car robbing business, because that was some of their forte. But the lead that led it to being them specifically was because when they broke into that time slotted, activated vault or whatever, they said the only way you would know how this would work is if you had worked at that company at some point. So like you would have literally had to work for the manufacturer to understand what he did, and that led to one crew member. And when the FBI, I think, was tailing him, he took a picture of them, and he was with the crew. So that was like, okay, he's the guy. He's the one we're guessing, which means all the rest of these guys may be a part of it. And that's when they're like, oh, this guy's the son of the mobster guy in jail. This is another son of someone else.
The
That's
whole
that's
jail
what it
thing was
is.
so stupid too.
Yeah.
His dad, you
Hmm.
know, and
And
Ben Affleck's unresolved feelings for his mother.
yeah, which we find out is the twist.
Yeah, with the florist.
The florist,
I
yeah.
was like,
The older
really,
mob
really.
boss.
Okay, so this is kind of like the Batman scenario, right? From Batman versus the Joker. You get this old man in a building, just like with the Joker.
Hmm.
He got no power. He's got one guy. If he's such a problem, why don't you just shoot him? You're right there.
Hmm.
You're half his age. He's got no protection. You get him out
Well,
of the way, and
yeah.
he causes problems later on. It's the same thing in the Batman movies when in the with the uh, what's his name's Joker character. He'd walk into a place with all the mob bosses, and the mob bosses, instead of shooting him immediately, were like,
Hmm.
"Oh my God, he's got makeup on. We can't shoot him. We're afraid."
Yeah.
The same thing. Why did you just shoot him and get out of the way? I mean, great. The movie probably would have been better. It would have gone a different direction. But the florist thing was so stupid because they go into his little flower shop, and he's the head mod boss of the
Hmm.
area who comes up with what they're going to, the idea for them to steal.
Pretty much. It's like he just says, hey,
What was it? Why?
I want money from this or something, and they go do it.
So they're part of a crew,
Yeah. They
but that
kind of got
wasn't really
hired.
shown there very well. I mean, the movie's long enough as is, but that wasn't really. I mean, other than them telling us in the little cutaway scene with the FBI, we didn't have any connection. Just like we didn't have any connection with Jeremy Rimmer, who supposedly after Ben Affleck lost his mother
Mhm.
and his dad went to prison, he
He
ended up
stayed
as a
with
small
them,
kid moving in with
Jeremy Renner and
Jeremy
his
Rimmer's
family.
family.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Rimmer was hardly in this. I mean, you notice he would just disappear and only come back when the script needed him to come back.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, there was no real connection between the two. And
No.
granted, Ben Affleck,
This was a love story.
yeah, I guess.
This was more
I
of a
mean,
love
it's true. It
story.
did end. I'm going to spoil it. It did end with him, you know, longing for her down at the beach on a beach in Florida.
Mhm.
You know, just like Shawshank. It was the exact same thing. So
Yeah.
I was expecting his little buddy to come there. And what was his name from Shawshank?
I don't remember.
Man, probably one of the best actors ever.
That means you should remember
Yeah.
it. Continue. What was the rest of your thought?
No, I don't know. The movie sucked.
Just to
Pretty
sum it
darn
up.
simple. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't really, like I said, I think this particular talk about it's not necessarily a review. It's just we're bagging on the movie at this point,
Sometimes they're
which
like
is good.
that.
Yeah, no, this one deserves. Who are you people that saw the movie? Who likes this movie? I mean, it has like a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. And not that I, trust Rotten Tomatoes for anything.
I feel like I'd have to look at the other
But
movies that were
why?
out around and see, like,
It
was this
must have been
just
a
the only
trend, huh?
thing? Possibly. I mean, what when was Fast and Furious and all the other like
Oh, let's
actiony?
start in the 90s to the 2020s.
You know,
No, but I think that one that I said with Jack Nicholson, where he won an Academy Award, I think came out around this time as
mm,
well. And I guess Ben Affleck wanted to make his own,
probably yeah, his
which
own
would make
spin.
sense. But Jack Nicholson has talent. Ben Affleck, questionable after Dogma. Yeah,
Dogma was just the best. It just sits up there,
I
so
know.
is what it is.
We should just finish this up with talking about Dogma.
No, we're
Oh,
going to finish this up
what was
because
her
we've got
name?
other stuff.
I had such a crush on Lyndon Florentino, the lead in that.
Mm.
That husky voice and just yeah, no. Mm, she's one sexy woman. She was also in uh what was it, Men in Black,
Mm.
and she was in which we should watch a movie called Gotcha that came out in the 80s. You might like that.
Okay.
I know you never heard about that one.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no,
No
let me
clue.
cue it up. Okay, I add that on the list. It's a non-sci-fi horror, so you'll appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, no plastic monsters in that one.
The Void was great.
The Void. Yeah, we're just talking about other movies now,
I
huh?
know, because
The
you
Void.
really should have watched something else, but yet you guys have sent another movie to top trending. You need to stop. I feel that's what we're here for.
Was this top trending?
Yeah, this was
Oh
in the
my
top
god, are
10
you
trending on
serious?
Netflix. Yeah, part of the reason I picked it.
People are just starved for anything. Huh.
We are here to let you guys know if you want Netflix to stop raising your prices, you can't reinforce watching all their bad stuff.
Yeah.
Just wait. I know it's new, but you can go out for a walk or go to the beach or do something outside. You don't have to give Netflix more of your watching hours for
For
slop.
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because that's why they keep doing it. Damsel was like I think the highest like
I love
viewed
that
thing
movie.
ever.
I love that movie.
It's like number one in Netflix's
How?
history.
How?
People.
How? How?
So only you guys, you, the audience, can stop letting them make this crap.
Stop rewarding bad behavior
That's
and
right.
stop paying attention to Ben Affleck. I mean, granted, his time is over with. They don't come up with. Did you ever see Argo?
Mhm.
It's his big Academy. Oh
Yeah.
my God, what a stupid fucking movie that is. I have to say, it was about some. I mean,
It was
granted, it
based on
took
like
place.
a real ish situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where people set in an apartment until they got a plane out. That's the
Mhm.
whole story. And the entire time in that movie, they're like, "Oh, well, got to keep very quiet in this house. We got to keep quiet. They're going to come get us anytime." And no one came and got them.
Mm-mm.
They literally just snuck out and got on a plane and left. That's the entire movie. And I was like, "What is this?
Yeah, it's kind of like you're
Are
hoping.
are all the true stories already been done?" And they're just like, whatever they can get.
Probably
And why did I get an Academy Award?
because it was some dramatization of a seemingly intense story of this group
And
and
I'm
what they
sure it
did.
wasn't tense as you're hiding in your house, but they hid in the house for the entire
Yeah.
movie. Nothing happened.
It's a movie that probably should take liberties to make it actually more entertaining versus just maybe stick to the fact that these people in this bad situation probably had their best
Or maybe
outcome.
understand that not all true stories are worth putting to film.
Also true.
Mm,
Very true.
yeah. But then again, I also think that Ben Affleck is overrated by far. I mean, his Batman was nothing. I mean, he didn't have any kind of charisma. Not like George Clooney's Batman.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
George Clooney was oozing charisma.
Hmm.
Not really. He was a piece of shit. But that's just me. Yeah. Mr.
Weird.
Freeze had more charisma than George Clooney.
Yeah, true.
And
Oh, Mr.
Schwarzenegger can't
Freeze.
even act.
That's true.
Yeah. No.
That is split screens. We have gone too far
Did we even talk
before.
about this movie?
We did. We did. We tried.
Yeah. We did
But
tell him
maybe you guys liked it. If you're one of the people who added to that 93%, feel free to explain to us
why
why,
we're wrong.
who hurt you, what was going on during that time.
Yeah. Let us know if you're taking any medication at the moment that might alter your sense of reality. Um,
I don't think that would have
how
made it
sad is
better.
your home life that you have to think this was a
I
good
don't think
movie?
I don't think that
I
would have
mean,
made it better.
yeah, no. Go back and
Sorry.
watch Scarface. You'll appreciate it. Michelle Pfeiffer, Al Pacino, real actors.
Hmm.
Um,
Real
this
actors.
they were. I don't think other than the florist. The florist I like as a character actor. He's been in a lot of movies. He was in Eon Flux, which is a horrible movie, but I love
It
it.
is a horrible movie.
But he was also in the first CGI dragon movie. Man, what was it called? Dragonheart.
Mm,
You remember? You've seen that movie, right?
probably.
It was a major thing back in the early '90s. Dragonheart. It's got I can't remember the actor's name. He's been around forever. Um, uh, he plays a monk or something like it in it.
Hmm.
So I have a tendency to remember unimportant things
Yeah.
that's connected. But it's nice that he's still alive.
Mm.
He's very old and frail looking, but he's still a very fine actor. So I guess he was the only person that could act in this entire movie, and his part was so short too. He was literally there for maybe 2 minutes of it. That was it,
Yeah.
and then he gets shot. I mean,
Hmm.
Ben Affleck
The
does
thing
what I
you
said.
mentioned of just going in there and taking him out, they finally did it.
Yes.
He could have did
Why
it the
couldn't you have
first
done that
time.
before? The whole thing with the ending is Ben Affleck wants to leave,
Yes,
and the
he
the
wants
the
out.
florist says, "No, you're part of the crew. You come with the deal. You do this one job, and then we'll think about it. No one ever leaves, but we'll think about it." I don't even know
Hmm.
why he did this. Why he didn't just pack it up and leave at that point. Um, so
Well,
this job was bad from the start, and Ben Affleck even says it's bad, and then it goes south once. And the job is so stupid. They're stealing from a ballpark
hmm,
safe while they're setting up for the game or some I don't know, but it was just so stupid. And they go in there. Oh, that was another thing. They keep dressing up in Halloween masks
yeah.
in broad daylight. I'm
Mm.
like, you think no one's going to notice you driving around
Little kid did,
as
yeah,
a
when they were
bunch
the
of
nuns.
nuns?
Yep.
And the cop did looked at him at the end. Why are you wearing those?
Hmm.
Stalking.
Yeah, and they did so much out in public during broad
Oh my
daylight,
god!
like in front of
All
people.
Keystone cops chasing him. None of them
Mhm.
can catch him. And they're in
No,
their
they're all
little
driving like 40
minivan.
miles per hour,
You're
and it's
like,
just.
what is this? I
And
mean,
they tried to spice it up. The cops were trying to ram them off the road and
I
some
like
other stuff.
one of my favorite parts is, oh, they're heading for the bridge. We gotta stop them. And then the Ben Affleck's like, oh, they're going to go for the bridge. We got to get through it before we get stopped. And then they get across the bridge, nothing happens, and they
Yeah,
park and leave. You're like, what was that for?
I don't know.
Right? And why is it so hard to close down the bridge? Yeah,
My favorite part was during that same chase sequence. Well, I think it was a different job where they're kind of getting chased for a bit. The extra getaway car comes up. They swap cars. Then when they go to swap cars again, they do it directly in front of a cop who's guarding like a construction site.
And they're holding guns, and the cops do it like
The cop is just like, I'm not getting involved in this at all. He's like, I've got an appointment
well,
at 3. I'm not going to get shot.
the plan was stupid from the beginning. If your getaway is to get across the bridge,
Hmm.
I mean, you would think if Ben Affleck was such a mastermind at this, you would have the car, you would go a block and park it in a garage,
Hmm.
get the mask off, and then walk out down the street like normal everyday people, not run through with machine guns and
Yeah.
50 cop cars all ramming everything
Yeah.
but you. I, and
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Oh, and then after all of that, the true ending is Ben Affleck leaves. He originally tried to leave with
Morgan
the love of
Freeman.
his life. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's his buddy.
Yeah.
She was Morgan Freeman in this. Come down. He writes her a letter at the end. I love you. I'll be
Yeah.
here waiting. Okay.
And gave her a bunch of money.
Why would you? Did he?
Hmm.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, the letter was in the bag of money saying like she could use it better than he could to try to like pay for having essentially ruined her life because that's what he did. He put her through the most
Wouldn't
traumatic
wouldn't
situation.
that ruin her even more? The FBI suspects her of being, connected
Hmm.
with Ben Affleck,
And then she
and you
deposits
get
like fifty
suddenly,
thousand dollars into her account.
what's wrong with your thinking here? Why would you do that?
Hmm.
And and you know what? Going down to Florida is not the solution to getting away from the FBI.
No,
No, not at all.
especially when they know you did it. I mean, they can confirm everyone else a part of your crew is either dead or captured. I think they're all dead except Ben Affleck. So clearly, you're a part of it.
Yeah, and it would just end it. No, no. Hey, let's go get the last one. It was like, oh, he disappeared. Where's he at
He
now?
did it.
Guess we don't know.
Yeah, and she's over here with her new
And
cash.
she's got the long. Was she in love with him? I don't know. It's a mystery.
Well, I mean, after she realized that he lied to her and he was the one that put her through the most traumatic situation ever. That was the big. Will they still love each other after such a betrayal and so much lying?
And that's after 2 hours and something of a movie, and we still had no idea how the relationship was or what it was,
Hmm.
other than what they told us it was. And I don't
Yeah,
understand why. One, how could you love Ben Affleck when he's like the entire time he's just talking really low,
he's really
and
witty and
you
he says jokes and
but
she
he didn't say
laughs.
one joke. He wasn't witty in any kind of way. He wasn't charming. He didn't take her out to eat. He didn't take her to the drive-in. Not a whole lot of nothing. Oh, he got her a necklace.
He
The
did.
necklace sealed her love for him
Yeah,
because she's very materialistic and she likes shiny things.
which caused their
Oh
downfall
my God.
because of the
I see you
necklace.
have a necklace. Okay.
Well, the necklace thing was so it was a love triangle because Jeremy Renner's sister
Oh my
was
God. I forgot
banging
about
Ben
that.
Affleck, and um, she gets visited by the FBI because the FBI has now pieced together anyone in that circle being a part of some sort of criminal stuff. He comes in to try to manipulate her into giving up Ben Affleck, and then just casually drops, oh, he's dating someone new and gave her a necklace. How many diamond necklaces did you
I
get in
know,
your
right? That was,
relationship? Which causes her to go to him to want to leave with him. And then he, with his, I guess, brilliant intelligence, tells her, no, I'm taking another chick.
yeah. She was the downfall of
Hmm.
the master plan because evidently you want to trust a crackhead meth addict, which she was the best looking meth addict I've seen in
Yeah.
a long time
Hmm.
because she had nice full lips. But
Choppers and
she was
everything. Yeah.
in love with Ben Affleck, said that her daughter was his
Hmm.
and it wasn't. But they're just telling us. We're not actually experiencing any of this. They just tell us things as the
Yeah.
movie goes along. And she's, even though we don't see her, we see her at the very beginning because she
Thanks, Ben Affleck.
yeah, um at the beginning, and then we don't have anything from her for like an hour and a half,
Hmm.
and then suddenly that one little FBI scene about he gave her a necklace.
Hmm.
uh, at least I mean, I guess there might have been more in a 4-hour cut of her, but there really wasn't anything. Why she just showed up so they could do that,
Yeah.
so she could tell the FBI
Mm.
that, and they created that love triangle, which was absurd because, I mean, I
What
didn't even
two
know there was a
girls, one
love
him?
triangle going on until they did that.
Yeah.
I thought she was just a prostitute because that's pretty much what they said at the very beginning. She was a prostitute. That was it. All right. I'm done with this talking about this. I need to. Yeah, no, you're gonna owe me on some movies because it's like too bad. I guess I chose the damn, so
And you said
maybe
choose
not.
bad ones because I tried to pick a good one the first time and I got all just taken down for it. This was too
Bodies,
good.
bodies, bodies is not a good movie.
No, but Companion was.
Companion, yes.
And that was when we had the whole, okay, this one was really bad. Okay, this one was good. And you told me to find something in the middle.
Yeah,
Now,
but I didn't expect you to go to extremes.
look, I tried. We'll see about next time. But really, I chose this because of you people making it in the top 10 trending. I feel it's important for us to discuss popular things and verify if they're worth their popularity or not. That's all. I feel like we owe that to the people as a review show so that they can save their hour or 90 minutes.
Oh yeah. So what you're saying is we're saving them from not getting 2.5 hours of their life back. Is that
Exactly.
it? So we're saviors.
Yep. That's my whole
Well,
point.
that's good. That's a good job to have. I mean,
Exactly.
I can put myself up as somebody's savior.
There we go.
Yeah.
hmm
Yep.
See, you need us.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done with this one.
100%.
This was
And
a
you should be
mess.
too.
We didn't even go through it like the other movies. This was just a mess.
hmm Just because it's a lot of stuff that just doesn't matter and isn't fully backed by anything, which
A lot
again,
of stuff.
most likely the 4 hours might do more of that. But even then, I didn't like, if this was a synopsis, I didn't like the synopsis. So I don't think the extra fluff is going to
No.
make it better. I assume there's more time with Jeremy Renner to show why they're so close. I'm sure there's probably more of him stalking her and getting the information and building kind of like a like for her in the first place. But who wants that? I don't. No. And you shouldn't either. But,
No. No.
but this was another episode of Split Screen. Don't watch the town. Thanks again. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep. Give us a big thumbs up.
Hit the bell.
Oh, you know what? We're also doing a versus. Who do you like better? Myself, or Tony. So right? Who's sexiest? It's probably me.
We'll see. Have a good one.